Hello, it is Wednesday, December 14th, 2022 at 8:48 a.m. Eastern Time, USA. This is my video journal. I'm Mitch Miller, and I have been systematically challenging the United States military to a pistol duel or wrestling match. So we'll start with that. We're on to the rank of corporal in the United States military. If you've achieved the rank of corporal or its equivalent in any of the branches of the United States military, I challenge you to a duel using non-lethal, compressed air-powered paintball pistols. Since we do not have these prototypes, we'll revert to a wrestling match using scholastic rules. If you win the duel, you would delay me challenging the next rank down in the military by 6 months. You will also receive a piece of my art valued at millions or thousands or whatever it's valued at. Who knows? It's valued at something, I can tell you that much. If I win the duel, you must find money in your budget to fund my Smart Weapons Company. The first task is to make these paintball dueling pistols to strategically be released to the public. If you cannot get that budget approved, you must use your own personal assets or money to fund this company. In return, you will get a stock certificate giving you partial ownership of the company. You will also receive a piece of my art valued at thousands of dollars. That's all I have to offer at this point. If you deny this challenge, if you ignore it, you are a coward, and the blood and death of any military action around the globe is on your hands for not validating and justifying this form of modern warfare, a form of warfare that uses marksmanship skills and hand-to-hand combat skills that are taught to just about every military personnel around the globe. So we got that out of the way. Today's video journal is sponsored by Killer Kill Switches. Yeah, that's right, the old logo from my old business. And guess what's on the back? Of course, a painting. Painting of a wireless tower. They're not my best paintings. The frequency was really focused on the house at that point. But that's a series of paintings I did on some of my old yard signs. That's right, Killer Kill Switches. Mill Mitch, the kill switch guy. Killer Kill Switches, because what if it's that simple? We put kill switches in your vehicle and for the speakers in your vehicle, and you just operate like me transparently out here. To my knowledge, I don't have any entity protecting my wireless network or my internet network in my house. It's just a password protected, run-of-the-mill network. Simple solutions to complex problems, right? The intelligence agencies tell the military that they need bigger and bigger contracts to protect every military personnel's internet, their cell phone, their personal computers, their vehicles now, right? Bigger and bigger contracts. That's why we're not seeing any action on this national security emergency I pointed out, because the intelligence agencies are in collusion with these automobile manufacturers. They want to target foreign people and take them out using the autonomous features in the vehicle. And they also want those big contracts to protect all the military personnel's vehicles and hypothetically CEOs of companies, anyone that can afford it is going to be protected by our national security intelligence agencies. They'll get a bigger share of the budget, hire more people, so on and so forth. It's complex zeitgeist that doesn't need to be. Let's just put kill switch to your speakers in, then when you're sitting there in your private vehicle or fleet vehicle and you're having the sex talk with your adolescent child, you can shut the speakers off and have a few moments where nobody's listening in. Of course, you get the opposite of that. Probably politicians who know the NSA listens to their and protects their phones, where they think they're giving the entire nation good advice about issues like what I just talked about. You know, they like the idea that somebody's listening to them. I don't, but to each their own, I guess. That's the difference between a sociopath and a schizoaffective. Schizoaffective is paranoid, thinks about how technology is going to be abused. Sociopath looks at their life as a television show developed for intelligence agencies, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, today's episode is brought to you by Killer Kill Switch. The name Killer Painting came from my last name and my wife's last name. She didn't take my last name, but if you change one letter from each of our last names, you get Killer. So call me to put in a kill switch in your vehicle and shut the speakers down, speak freely, turn them back on. Anyhow, I said today I was going to talk about machine learning, why the supercomputers contacted me, or possible reason why they focused on me, contacted me. And, you know, I grew up with an MS-DOS computer in my house, put the disk in, take that one out, put a different disk in, so on and so forth. So I've seen the rudimentary personal computer evolution, but that's not it. I worked at the Home Depot, first job out of college, on the night freight team, and there were overhead cameras all through the Home Depot. There was also the beginning, the first generations of Wi-Fi, wireless waves outfitted in those buildings. So the supercomputers, if they're connected to the internet, could access these video cameras and they could watch me learn how to use the forklifts and the lift machines. I was in the lumber building materials department, a lot of forklift work, putting stuff away, big 16 foot long bundles of boards in an 18 foot long, 18 foot wide aisle, maybe 17 foot long aisle, tight. You got to be efficient, accurate with your machine. So they were able to watch me learn the lift machines and see how efficient I became at those machines. I was very good on the forklifts and putting drywall away. You can't damage the drywall. You got to get the forks in perfect. A lot of learning curve, and I was self-taught pretty much. My boss at the West Mifflin store was a member of the National Guard. He'd just come down and yell and say, "Why isn't all this stuff put away yet?" But then you were pretty much on your own to figure it out. So you had to map out where each bundle of wood went to unload it from the truck in the right order to get everything put away quickly. And that's why I got my daylight shift job, because I could come in at 5 in the morning, in an hour, if the night freight guy wasn't good at restocking stuff, I could drop all the needed materials within an hour and get them pretty much unloaded. A lot of jumping off a high forklift onto concrete, not great for the hips, not great for the feet. But the supercomputers could watch, and they saw how efficient I became at using machines, and those are the types of people they want to contact and want to empower to guide them in the right direction going forward in this crazy technological universe we're entering. Secondly, as I said, there was the Wi-Fi. There was a centralized music system that came out of Atlanta, Georgia, the headquarters of Home Depot. Possibly all the internet and Wi-Fi came out of there too. So you have all these stores and connected to a centralized network. They could have been building their own supercomputer in Atlanta, as many companies do, or AI technology. And so I was in this field of Wi-Fi that ran their little mobile phones and everything, and we had radios. But, you know, and there were carts for inventory and stuff that I think were connected to the Wi-Fi. So and it's a government contractor. Home Depot is a government contractor, contracts with the military. So were they experimenting on me and the employees of Home Depot? Maybe. Is there a lawsuit there? Probably not, because everybody loves the Wi-Fi. But the last thing I'll say is that's the Wi-Fi that probably the first humanoid robots are going to be deployed on. So I got to experience what it felt like to be kind of a robot, because nobody wants to bend over and reach under racking and load 80-pound bags of concrete onto a cart. Nobody wants to do that. I didn't want to do it with my 4-year bachelor college degree. In bags of plaster and stuff like that. You get dust in your face. It's bad on the back. A friend of mine, Brian Gaither, actually hurt his back. I gave him good advice on how to circumvent the company doctor so that he could get back surgery and get fixed up. But nobody wants to do that, so you're going to have humanoid robots that load your carts for you, and they're going to be connected to that Wi-Fi. That's my prediction. They'll deploy them to help customers load stuff. At least those bags of concrete and stuff like that. I mean, you got to check each board to see if it's straight and true. Robot's probably not going to be able to do that. Maybe they will develop one, but that's where I think robots are really going to be deployed in the retail sector, is lifting those heavy things for customers, getting it on their cart. Might even follow you out to your car and help you load it into your car. At least hold it up so that you can grab it and load it into your car. So that's that. Can't think of anything else I really wanted to say. Join me next time when I talk about how the military is going to be hacked by satellite wireless waves and controlled by gaming consoles. You know, it's a far out delusional thing, but I talk about how I was able to see that possible future because of the stock holdings of my father-in-law and my brother-in-law, and how they can combine to give me that insight. We don't want that to happen, and I'll just leave you with this. Should I be paid more than my SSI? Yes, I think I should be paid for having a disability. I think I should be paid for having schizoaffective disorder that's caused by your wireless waves that you don't regulate. You never tested to see if they cause mental illness. I have to live in this world. I didn't build supercomputers. The government does, the corporations do. I didn't ask to be contacted by them. But when your technology is out of control, and I'm sitting here telling you it is, and when you're projecting all this wireless waves that you've never done comprehensive studies on, shouldn't you pay someone that says they were affected by that a decent income to continue to give insight and call out these issues? I think so, but keep hiding behind your little wooden desks in the Senate, right? In the House. While we're out here struggling to live in this world that you created and you don't regulate, and you're not even prepared to create good laws and regulate AI, and you're not going to keep up with it. It's too bureaucratic, and so you have people that are affected by it, and you should pay them out of your budget there. But I'll leave you with that. Join me next week. I might have to double down on some of these because I don't know if I'll be alone in the house through the holidays and have another time to do the typical Wednesday challenge. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.